Hello trainers, welcome to another episode of Pokemon Go Battle. So today we have a very long video, but this is the only one day that I actually played Retro Cup. I had 5 sets, yet out of those 5 sets, 3 of them we ended up using Shadow Machamp. Shadow Machamp with the Community Day move Payback was such a surprise when I was battling trainers in the 3100 to the 3200 ELO range. Again, this was in Retro Cup, so we've seen a lot of Psychic users in the back. We've seen a lot of Frostlass in the back, usually with shields. But without a doubt, for some odd reason, I wanted to use Shadow Machamp, wanted to use it with Payback, and it was so much fun with using it. So without taking too long with this intro, we have a long video like I said. Let's jump into these battles and let's just start commentating through these. Because like I said, it was just so much fun using this team. If they have Retro Cup happen again, I'm definitely wanting to use it and see how I can just take advantage of the Team Cup, how everything worked out. So the first, I don't know, maybe 5 battles or so, 5 to 7 battles, I was still warming up with the team, trying to figure out how can I play it out to make it work to Shadow Machamp's benefit, because Payback is such a long charging move, but it has its rewards when it's not shielded. So in this situation here with our first battle, it's Beebs. It's another content creator, I believe through Twitch. He was one of like the first couple battlers that we had. He switched into Crustle. Now Crustle is a Pokemon that usually gives us some headache when Machamp is down, because Galvantula doesn't like seeing the rock throws and Marowak doesn't like to see the rock throws. So what we see here is Machamp comes back in with these cross chops, and we knock out the Frostlass, which is perfect. We're up 2 shields. We were trying to figure out what's going on here, because they bring back the Crustle, and what we do here, we actually shield, which is perfect, because with all this energy we have, we can land whatever move we have in the back end Pokemon and end up being a Vigoroth, which is perfect for us. 2 cross chops is going to knock this thing out, and we win one of the first few battles with this team. So GG's there for this match. So, like I said, figuring out what was really the best situation I can use as Shadow Machamp as much as we can, having Galvantula as the lead. Typically what we like to do is throw those lunges just so we can get those attack stats go down, the debuff from the beginning Pokemon, so Machamp can come in, start farming away, not get hurt so much with its health, because Machamp is, not really the bulkiest Pokemon. It's average, below average with its HP, with his stamina stat. So seeing this Mew in this matchup, we have just kept throwing these lunges here, and we get both their shields, which is perfect for us. So now Machamp can come in. We'll shield this move just in case if it's anything big and damaging for Machamp. And it was just only a Dragon Claw, and then they throw another Dragon Claw here, and it's not too bad. So we're just going to keep farming down. We have all this energy now ready to go, and then they have a Dugong, if that's what it is. Yep, it's a Dugong, so we're going to farm up some more energy before they throw the Icy Winds, or they get to it, and we throw a Cross Chop. We're going to knock it out. This is perfect for us. GG's there for this match. So, having Vigoroth in the back, not fun with the Machamp. We throw in the Marowak here, just to, conceal the match rather quickly, because really the only move they can get to is Bulldoze, and we can get to the Fire Blast just before they get to the Bulldoze, so... Like I said, this is going to be a long video. I try to cut it as best as I can so we can cut out as much seconds as we could. But without a doubt, here we go. Next battle, we see a Crustle as the lead. We have Machamp come in. We're going to throw this Payback. This is the first time that we see Payback hit with a Machamp or a Metacham, and it almost knocks it out, surprisingly. And also surprised that it doesn't knock it out, being how bulky it is. It's not a stabbed move, but with the shadow damage and the neutral move on Metacham, it's almost knocks it out, which is pretty good. So we see the Crustle here again. Our Machamp is down. This is not looking good for us, because we had to shield this Rock Slide, and now they're 2 shields ahead of us, but I think we're going to get a shield here. So we're looking okay in this situation. I think we switch into our Gal just to catch the X-Scissor. And this is going to refrain the Crustle from farming down more energy if we left in the Marowak. And then they had a Victory Bell here. So we're going to throw the lunge, just knock down that attack stat once again. And we just get to the move, but we both knock out at the same time, and we win that match. GG's there for this match. So again, this situation, it's pretty interesting. Like I said, having Galva as the lead. We can, you know, lower down the attack stat as much as we can, and then we can kind of come in with Machamp if we could to see if we can build up some more energy, at least get ahead on energy, see if we can throw that payback. So you see a Jelly as a lead here, which is great. We have answers to every Pokemon in this situation, and we got a Bubble Beam go through, which is not, it's okay. We don't like really shielding the Bubble Beams or yet, but that's all right. So we see the Frostlass come in. I think they're just trying to build up on some energy. You're going to throw the lunge here first. They don't shield, which is very smart on their play. I think a discharge or a lunge is not going to knock out a Frostlass with full health. Plus being debuffed, it doesn't help either. So we let go of the Galvantula, and then we come in with the Shadow Bone Marowak here. And we get the defense down, which is perfect. So we don't have to technically shield here if we wanted to. But I just want to maintain the health a little bit with this Machamp. And we try to chip away and farm down as best as we can. And then we see the Politoed come in, and I wanted to sneak in the payback, but we just missed it. This could have been a match that we could have actually won if we threw the cross chop, because the Shadow Bone would have knocked it out afterwards in this case, but we couldn't get to it, and this is going to be a GG's here for this match. So I think this is the first set that we did. We managed to get a 3-2. Could have been a 4-1 in this situation, but a 3-2. Not too bad, starting off with this team. And we're going to move on to the next battle here. Some interesting names, but hey, it is what it is. Here we go, to a Lickitung lead. This is not too bad for us. We can throw the lunges here. I think a Galvantula can technically win this situation pretty easily with a Galvantula. Or with the Lickitung, I'm sorry. So they throw the Body Slam. We don't shield. We can get to another lunge before they get to the Body Slam here. This does not knock out the Lickitung. And we were trying to see if we can jump into the Machamp before they throw the Body Slam, but it didn't happen, and we just went in with our Marowak just to start building up on some energy. Because it's been lunged twice, this gives us a lot of farm for Marowak, and they actually can seal the match. So they're probably weak to, I don't know, could have been a Frostlass in the back, could have been two Psychic users. I think for what we learned from Retro Cup, usually when there's a Lick normal user in the beginning, they definitely have Psychic users in the back, or Psychic user and a Ghost user, hence Frostlass. So here we go in this situation, a Shadow Snorlax, and we see the Defense Form Deoxys come in, and in this case we shields just to survive the Psycho Boost. We would have not made it. And in this case, we throw the payback, and looky, we get to knock out our first opponent, our first Pokemon. That is a Defense Form Deoxys, you guys. One-shot KO. And here we are, building, farming down the Snorlax, and we have a cross chop here for the Frostlass. They were probably too scared of the payback, and they shielded here, which brings in our Galvantula. In this case, we threw in the Galvantula so they can throw the energy away against it, so our Marowak can come in and just throw the Shadow Ball and actually win this match. So if we threw in our Marowak here, we probably would have lost the match, because they would have got to the Shadow Ball first, and then they would have probably got us to the Avalanche to Galvantula. So that was the reason why I threw in the Galvantula, just so they can throw their energy away and Marowak can come in and just knock out the Frostlass here. So moving on to the next battle, we have Hypno. So we're not going to try to sneak in any extra Volt Switches here. We're going to go straight to the lunge just so we can get the attack down. We do get the shield, which is great, and we do get the extra Volt Switch here, which is even better. So they Ice Punch us here, and then they throw in a Lickitung. So we, in this case, I think it was probably the best strat that we figured out is throwing the lunge onto Lickitung, not shielding the Machamp because we can survive the Body Slam, and then farm all the way down so we have a payback ready. So when the Hypno comes back in, we're going to throw this payback, and this is going to be our second Psychic victim. Boom, there we go. We knock out the Hypno, and then they have a Vigoroth in the back. We can throw this cross chop here. It's definitely going to force them to shield because it's going to put them in the red if they don't. Well, actually, would have knocked them out in this case. And then we come in with our Marowak here, and this is going to probably have them conceal the match because they can't get to the Bulldoze before we get to the Fire Blast. On top of the shield as well, too. So, like I said, with the right team comp, this Shadow Machamp with Payback does a lot of damage. really mixes up the match, throws things around rather quickly. This is the time where Shadow Machamp with Payback does its justice against any psychic users we come up against. So here we go. We have a Marowak in. We had to throw that shields. I don't know if that was maybe the smartest play, is the shield there. But they had an Altaria here, which is not great because now they're up a shields. We definitely can't shield here because they have 2 shields against our 1. And we're going to throw this Shadow Bone here, and they do shields. And I think if we did end up shielding here, they probably got to another Sky Tag before we get to the Shadow Bone. So in this case, we don't shield here. I wanted to see if we can actually farm all the way down, but we were just 1 counter away, so we had to shield here. And then the Marowak's going to come back in, and we're going to see if we can chip away and farm down before we get to the last Pokemon, which we couldn't get there. So that was a GG's for this match. So you'll start noticing throughout the video when we see more of these battles that Crustle is very hard for this team because of 2 Pokemon that's weak against the rock with the rock throws. Then we have Altaria as another Pokemon that's pretty much like a hard counter to us because we don't really have the bulk with these 3 Pokemon. They're very shield dependent, especially the Machamp and the Galvantula. So it's a very interesting team comp. I don't remember if I actually disclosed in the beginning how, I kind of threw this team around. One is see that Galvantula is more of a neutral lead for most situations that we came up against. And I really want to use Marowak because, Marowak is just such a cool Pokemon, especially having Hex and Shadow Bone to build up that energy really quickly, knowing how many Psychic users that we've seen in the back. Just like in this situation here with this Hypno. With the Hex Marowak, we can outpace the Hypno rather quickly, and we actually win this switch right here. So we see a Alomomola come in, and we start chipping away with the Shadow Bone to see if we can get the defense down when we didn't. So we switch into our Galvantula. We want to really apply that much pressure with their last shields with this discharge, which we do get it. And thinking here what we should do. Kind of the easy answer is going with the Machamp to start building up on some energy. We do have the shield. We got to respect the Psychic because it has Psychic, Hydro Pump, or Blizzard as its moves. And then we had Defense Deoxys comes in. We're going to Cross Chop here. We just get to knocking it out before it gets to a Psycho boost. And then we let go of this Cross Chop to knock out the Alomomola. There we go. Because it just let go of its Psychic moves, so it's going to take some time to get to another move itself, and that was a GG's for that match. So there we go. We sometimes see a Defense Deoxys as a lead here. Typically, I just go straight into the lunges. In some cases, they let us go to the lunge first, or they throw the move here like they did here. And then we see the switch into a Lickitung, which is another common switch in Retro Cup, XL Lickitung. And then we let go of this Body Slam, which I'm not sure if this is really the best situation in this case. But what I wanted to do is pressure the Defense Deoxys, thinking I could have get to maybe farming it down before they can get to a Lick move. Or the Body Slam move. But I couldn't do it, so it wasn't smart in my play. But we begin the Marowak here. Most likely this is going to be a Rock Slide, because usually in the lead with Defense Deoxys, it's Psycho Boost or Rock Slide. So we do shield here just to maintain that health. And then we throw this Shadow Bone just to chip away. We knock out the Defense Deoxys, and then we see a Litleo. This is somewhat of a spice pick, a XL Litleo. This is basically an answer to all the Frostlass are in the back. I'm not sure if it's second move that it has, but for all the times that we always played against this Litleo, they always threw the Flame Charge. So what I did here, what I typically try doing, is going to the Shadow Bone first, even though it's not it's resisted against a Litleo because of the normal type moving. I wanted to see if I can get the defense drop, so then I can throw the Fire Blast and pretty much knock it out in one shot. So in this case here, we try farming down as best as we can. I think in this situation, if I didn't switch out Pokemon, we could have won the match. But, down to 1 HP was super close. I'm not going to worry about it. And we're going to move on to the next battle. So, like I said, I wanted to showcase a lot of these matches as best as I can. Some of the wins, some of the losses, the hard counters against our team here, just to see that this team is not perfect whatsoever. Like I said, being in these battle elos of 3100 to 3200s, it was still pretty spicy. It was really fun just to throw those paybacks at certain situations. And I just had fun overall. So, as you can see, I did not shield here with this Marowak. When we throw a lunge against a Frostlass, we can actually survive a Shadow Ball without any issues. And I wanted to maintain that shield just in case we had an answer that we needed in the back with the Machamp or the Galvantula. So we see the Vigoroth come in, they body slam, we actually survive it. Again, just chipping away here, see if I can get the defense drop, and we do. And then they quickly switch into a Hypno, and they do not know that this Machamp has a payback, and boom, we knock it out. And then we knock it down with the counters, and we win that match. So very, very fun. Again, you know, if we did not have payback for this matchup here, we would have lost this match like really, really easily. But such, you know, such a surprise factor with this team. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So here we go. We jump into this next match. They switch into a Lickitung. Machamp comes in. We actually end up shielding this situation, and we just farm all the way down. And we let go of this cross chop before they get to the body slam here. Then the Jellicent comes back in, and here we go. We have a payback. Do they shield, guys? Do they shield? Nope, they don't shield, and we knock out the Jelly, and we win this match because they concealed. So GG's there for that match too. Again, a lot of Psychic and Ghost users don't survive with a payback Shadow Machamp. It's very, very fun. So here we go. They wanted to farm us all the way down. We get to the payback. We let it go. We knock out the Defense Deoxys in one shot. Again, just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So now they bring in the Galvantula just so they can farm down. We bring in the Cross Chop here just to chip away with damage. Not too bad in this situation. So I go in with the Marowak here, just so we can take on these moves, because we can take on the lunges and we can take on the discharges here. Knowing that they had Crustle as the lead, it's not going to be a good situation for our backline again. As you can see, we're going to most likely lose this match. So I was trying to get the defense drop here in this case, and then I throw the lunge to see if I can just bring down the attack to see if we can actually like keep up with this situation, and we couldn't. So we had 2 shields. We probably could have used it if we could, but like I said, the fast move damage with Rock Throw is not good for this team when Machamp is down. So we lose that match. GG's with that trainer there. So here we go. Machamp has the lead here. We're going to go with the lunges just to start chipping away. Get that attack to go down. We're not going to shield here because after that lunge and just ends up being a punch. So here we go. We see a Lickitung come in. We're going to shield here. We're going to farm down as much energy as we can just before they get to another body slam. And we're going to let go of this cross chop. Most likely they're not going to shield. And then they're going to bring back this Medicham. In this situation, being that the health is so low, I didn't want to throw a payback. There's no sense of wasting all that energy if they end up shielding like they do here. So we just throw back-to-back cross chops, and they actually use both their shields, which is perfect for us. Now we can bring in our, what's it called? Our Marowak, and we actually come up with a Dunsparce here, if that's how you pronounce it. So look at this, a Fire Blast chips away that much damage, but I'm surprised it actually has that much HP left for being how bulky this Pokemon is. So we bring in our Galvantula just to chip away, knock out the Dunsparce, and the Machamp comes in. They just get to the move before we do, and they knock us out, but our Marowak can come in. Psychic from here is not going to knock us out if they have it, but they have a Dynamic Punch, and we win that match. GG's there for this match. So here we go. Going on to the next battle, we have another Medicham as the lead. The shiny one at best. Looks really nice. They bring in Altaria. So now in this situation, because we have all this energy and the lunge has already gone through this Altaria, we can actually outpace it. So what we do here, we're going to keep on lunging as much as we should probably go with the discharges. So what we do here, we shield the Sky Attack and we can get to another lunge. And I don't think they shield here. Nope, they do. So they wanted the farm down. They wanted to be a little greedy. And luckily, after 2 stages of being debuffed, the lunges knock out, or no, we get knocked out by the Medicham. But because they sniped in, this is a perfect opportunity for Marowak to come in, so we don't get the alignment that we do want. But in this case, now that they have Frostlass in the back, we can't switch into Machamp because we're going to get knocked out rather quickly. And we're going to go with the Shadow Bones here. We build up the 2 to see if they actually shield, and they don't. And then we come in with the Metacham here and the Machamp. And I wanted to see if they can force their energy here. And it's a Psychic, which is perfect. And now we're going to go up to the Shadow Bone. We want to go back to back here to win this match. You're going to get a shield here, and then we're going to go to another Shadow Bone. This is most likely an Ice Punch because they had their energy depleted, and it was, so we managed to survive. And then we get to this Shadow Bone, and we actually win this match, so GG's there. So because of the switch in, and then when they sniped us in with the Metacham, gave us perfect opportunity for this alignment for this team to actually win. We got our 3-2 there. Could have been a potential 4-1 with how everything played out, but very, very close nonetheless. Like I said, a lot of opportunities of winning these matches with this kind of lineup. And now we're actually seeing an XL Alolan Geodude, and I think it has Rock Slide and maybe Discharge, if I'm not mistaken. But we ended up just letting go the Galvantula. There's no sense of just fighting to actually win that match. And then they bring in Altaria, which is not good in this situation. So we just come up to what is it called? Cross Chop here just to start shielding or getting the shields from the Altaria. Then we switch into a Marowak to see if we can just chip away with Shadow Bone, and then they bring in its Surfetch in the back, which is actually a pretty spicy pick. Not really seeing too many in the back. So we're gonna go with this Shadow Bone here. Doesn't knock us out, which is very bad in this situation because I did not want to use the shield. I really wanted to save it against the Altaria. And then here's another situation that I messed up. I threw the Fire Blast instead of going back-to-back Bone Clubs. Because what I really needed to do is get this last shield, and if I went back-to-back Bone Clubs, I probably would have got that last shield, and we would have possibly get to the Cross Chop, knocking out the Altaria from that health. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, going straight Cross Chops can almost knock out Altaria with Shadow Machamp. Just as long as we can build up as many counters as we can, sneaking in the extra counters as well too when we shield those sky attacks, and just chipping away with the Cross Chops. So again, Altaria is just so hard. Again, another match here, and we're just going to go with the same lunge strat as we've been usually going with in the past matches, just to start chipping away, and then just to start lowering down the attack stat of this Altaria, just in case if we have to switch in a Pokemon, they can just get a little bit of a benefit or a kickback just from the debuff from Altaria. So here we go, another lunge. They don't shield. Try to switch out, as you can see there, but we CMP tied. We let go of the Galvantula. We bring in the Machamp just to start building up on some energy, and then they have a Politoed here, and this is going to be very, very difficult. So we don't shield this first one here, this first Weather Ball. We're going to start chipping away here with the Cross Chops, and they don't shield, which is a very big surprise. And I started realizing, because they want to save these shields for the Frostlass that they have in the back, and this is really, really bad because Frostlass already has energy lead, and when it has energy lead like this, they can go straight Shadow Balls and pretty much knock out our team here. So didn't realize the strat that they were going to go with in this situation. It was already too late. And I really like the idea of this team that they had. So having Altaria not shielding so they can chip away, because Altaria still has a pretty good bulk with the typing moves that it has and the stats that it has. And then they have Politoed next, so they can start spamming those moves so they can take away those shields. And then they have Frostlass in the back, so as the heavy hitting move Pokemon with those shields, it's a really interesting strat that they had. So here we go, Crustle as the lead, not good. Again, seeing a Crustle and Altaria in this situation, it's definitely a losing situation. Unless they slip in one way, shape, or form, it's just a losing situation with this team. But we're going to still play it out. You never know how things go. Here we go, like as you can see, I'm trying to get to the Cross Chops as best as we can. They shield both of them, which is perfect. Some odd way I couldn't get to that last Cross Chop, which is very disappointing. Alolan Marowak comes in. We're going to have to take on this Sky Attack. We want to maintain this, what is it called? Shields as best as we can. We go with this Discharge here against the Crustle. It survives. We managed to farm it, almost farm it down. We let it go. I'm thinking that, what is it called? Marowak can actually win this situation. I throw the Shadow Bone here to see if this is going to knock it out in one shot, and we were just short. And want to see if I can farm down and use the remaining energy that we have for the last Pokemon, but we couldn't. Most likely it was probably a Frostlass, and if that's the case, a Shadow Bone wouldn't have knocked it out. So GG's there for that match. Gary Oak. I believe this is a Twitch streamer. This is a team that won the showcase as well too. It was a triple dragon user team. So in this case, it's another team that is very hard for our team to win because we don't really have the bulk against Dragon Breath users, as you're going to see here. So I bring in the Machamp, and as you can see, an Altaria comes in again. So there's not much we can do because they're thinking we have the Rock Slide, and all we're trying to do is build up as much energy as we can and start chipping away as best as we can. And we actually get the shield here, which is great in this situation, or at least to our eyes, it was great. But here we go, we get to another cross chop and they shield again, and we just lose out in that match. So we're back to square one like it was in the last battle. We know we can't get to this move, so we end up shielding here just to maintain health. And then I think we try to switch it to Galvantula, thinking we had more energy than I did do. And it was not a best situation, and then they Dragon Pulse us here, and it's pretty much GG's from this point. So probably could have got to two Dragon or Shadow Bones before they get to the Dragonair here, and they had a Dragon or a Gyarados in the back here, and we lose that match. So GG's for this situation. Here we go to the next battle. We have Frostlass here. Not too bad as a lead with Galvantula. I think it outpaces us to the Avalanches, but they actually switch on to their Munchlax, which is perfect. The lunge goes through, and we're treating this the same situation like it was for Lickitung. We're going to take on this Body Slam, and then we're going to farm all the way down. And we're going to see what the next Pokemon that they're going to have here. So most likely they're going to bring back in their Frostlass. In this situation, if we see the Frost in the lead, they're going to have two, normal typing Pokemon in the back. So we let go of this Avalanche because we want to maintain the switch, or I'm sorry, we're going to maintain the shields for the Frostlass, and then they bring in the Litleo here. So here's the situation that we're going to try to go again with the Shadow Bone first to see if we can chip away and get the defense down, and we didn't get it. And then we go straight to the Fire Blast here, and then I think they're going to shield here, surprisingly. Yep, they do. And then we're going to shield here, I think, because we have to end up using our shields. And I'm going to try to get to another Fire Blast as best as we can. And we just did before we get knocked out. Let's see what happens here. Fire Blast doesn't knock it out. We switch into our Galv. Surprisingly, that they let go of this Flame Charge. And then they go into the Frostlass, which is really good in this situation, looking back, because it resets the attack stat with Litleo. And we actually both knock out here, but we survived with the little HP we had left on the Marowak. So that was a GG's there for that situation. So the opponent played it out a little bit differently from the last battle that we had. We played it out a little bit differently too, not having the switch, but in this case we actually won. So let's move on to the next battle with Machamp as the lead. We actually shield up. I think this is a power-up punch, so there was a good bait by our opponent. We're going to lunge here again, and I think they actually shield, and they do. And then we bring in our Marowak just to start building up on some energy. Now that shields are down, we can do some crazy damage with this team here. And we let go of this Night Slash, and we let go of this Fire Blast just to knock out the Zangoose. It's very squishy as a Pokemon. Very hard-hitting attack stat weighted Pokemon, but it's very, very squishy. And we see a crest in the back. So we go straight to the Shadow Bone here just to start chipping away with damage. They get to the Grass Knot here, which you end up letting it go. No sense of really shielding for something that low of an HP. And then we start building up energy here because we don't want really see Grass Knot against a Machamp in the back. So they ended up seeing what we were trying to do. I didn't know they actually had energy stored in the back on the Machamp, and they sniped us with an Ice Punch, which is very, very smart on their end here. And then they started powering up Punch here, and what I was trying to do just to be sure we can win the match is make sure we have enough energy so we can beat this crest to a Grass Knot, and we do. And this cross shot coming from a Shadow Machamp knocks out the crest, and we win this match. GG. So very, very fun battle right there. Still very close in that situation. Very cool on the opponent seeing what we were trying to do and snipe us down with that Ice Punch. So here we go. I think this is a battle that we would like to see. We're happy to see a a normal type user in the front, knowing that usually they have psychics in the back. So here we go. We lunge first with this Snorlax, and we bring in the Machamp, and then they bring in the Cresselia. They're building up. This is actually a Confusion Cresselia. Very, very interesting. We let go of the Payback, and look at that. One shot knocks out the Cresselia. And then they probably got a little mad from that situation. They quickly brought in their Hypno here, and we brought in our Marowak. We built up to 2 Shadow Bones, and we let go back to back here. In this case, I really love Alolan Marowak, especially with Hex, because it builds up to those Shadow Bones rather quickly. In some situations, it's really cool to have Fire Spin just for those grass users, but we didn't really see too much of those. But in this case, being when there's so many Psychic users, having Hex and Shadow Bone really keeps up the battles against those Psychic users, and it's really fun. So in this case, we let go of the Galv. They were very scared that we're going to get to a move, so they let go of that Body Slam. And being as low as the health of that Snorlax, the Shadow Bone knocks it out when we win that match. So GG's there for this from this trainer here. So we are very close to the end of this video. I think we have maybe 2, maybe 3 battles left. If you guys stuck around this whole entire video, I really appreciate it. Like I said, this was only one night that I did Retro Cup. I was super busy during the week, and I couldn't get to the battles, but was very happy with this team once I kind of put it together with this Shadow Machamp with Payback. Like I said, that's why I'm showcasing this very long video just for this one time, because who knows, we may have another Retro Cup situation, or it may be another cup where there's going to be a lot of Psychic users, and maybe Machamp is an option that you could use with Payback in the back as a moveset. And remember, it's a Community Day move, so you want to be sure that you're using it that Community Day Machamp. If not, you have to use an Elite TM, unless you guys wait until the end of December, when they may most likely give you the opportunity to evolve a Machamp to having a Payback. So in this situation, this is not looking too good for us. I was not expecting Mew to actually have Psyshock, and then they baited us again with another Psyshock against the Marowak, which wasn't really good for us. And being a little scared and hesitant, I actually went back to back with these Shadow Bones just to knock out that Mew. Then they have Frostlass in the back. If and only we had Shadow Ball instead of Shadow Bone, we would have knocked it out. But this Frostlass just barely survived from our Alolan Marowak, and that's a GG's there from this situation. So with this battle, so here we go. Excellent ball. Our second to last battle, I believe. Zangoose as the lead. We can let go of this Night Slash. We can win this battle. We simultaneously switch into our both Pokemon here, and I end up shielding a Power Up Punch, which is not good. So a good call on our trainer baiting. And then we go with the Payback. So this is the one and only situation where they actually shield up a Payback, would have knocked them out, or at least got it very low. But in this case, knowing that it has Power Up Punch and now Ice Punch, our Alolan Marowak can now farm all the way down, and we can get all this energy so we can start threatening the remaining Pokemon that actually have. So in this situation, we know it's going to have Zangoose come back in most likely, and what we're going to do is probably throw the Shadow Bone just to see if we can chip away a little bit and get the defense down. So we're going to throw it right here and see what happens. So we do get the shield, which is great. They were probably thinking we're going to throw the Fire Blast, and then we throw the Lunge. So between the Lunge and the defense down, we knock out the Zangoose in one shot, and then they come in with a Defense Form Deoxys. And between the Lunge and the Shadow Bone, we can knock out this Defense Form Deoxys rather easily, and that's GG's with that match. So very reluctant to have those attack and defense buffs, or the debuffs in this situation. So here we go. I think this is the last battle. We see a Shadow Snorlax again. So we're going to do the same old strat here. We're going to go with Lunge. We're going to get the defense down. We're going to let go of this Body Slam so we can maintain our shields. And then they bring in a Dragonair here. So not looking too good here. We're going to go quickly into our Cross Chops just to start chipping away as best as we can. And they're going to let go of an Aqua Tail here. We're going to definitely shield. We're going to kind of maintain switch advantage in this situation, but I don't think it's too ideal. And let's see what happens here. So they have an Altaria, and sadly, because we're just about to knock out, we're going to go with the Payback, and they're going to go most likely shield thinking it's a Rock Slide. And I think in this case we're going to bring in our Marowak, and we're going to go straight to the Shadow Bones because I think the switch time clock is not up just yet. So we let go of the first Shadow Bone here, and I think the Sky Attack's going to go through. We're going to most likely shield because we can survive the Dragon Breath users a lot better with Marowak than the Snorlax that came in. But because it's a Shadow Snorlax, we were able to farm it down, and they quickly threw their energy here for the Sky Attack thinking we're going to have what's it called? A move, but they let it go, and then our Marowak comes in and we win that match. So again, really fun with this team. We got a 4-1 at the very end here, which brings us to a 31-88. Like I said, it was very fun. Very fun. Gosh, I'm starting to lose my voice here. Very fun with this team, with Shadow Machamp, with Payback, the Community Day move that I received a couple months ago. I think it was very viable and very usable in Retro Cup. Not too sure how it would be in Open Great League, but yeah, it's really fun in this situation. Hopefully we can get Payback Machamp in other situations and other cups in the future where it can be very viable and just fun, like in this situation with the Retro Cup. But without a doubt, guys, if you watch this whole video, I really appreciate it. It's a very long video, but without a doubt, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. I'll be streaming like usual Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern. Every other day is a bonus stream if you get to see me those days. But without a doubt, thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you guys on to the next video. Peace.